Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome to another exciting episode of RightCast. I'm your host Icha Pandey. Joining us today is truly inspiring guest Mr. Meti Basiri, the CEO and co-founder of ApplyBoard. ApplyBoard is one of the largest online platforms for international student recruitment. It simplifies the study abroad process by connecting students, recruitment partners, and academic institutions all in one place. Today, we'll be delving into Meti's study abroad journey, the story behind ApplyBoard, and valuable insight for our students and parents. So let's get started. Welcome to RightCast, Meti.
Thank you so much for having me.
How are you feeling to be in
Doing
Nepal
very
today?
well, thank you.
Okay, so let's dive into conversation. You have built one of the biggest education platform in the world, and I'm really curious to know about your study abroad journey. Like, how did you get inspired to start ApplyBoard?
So I'm originally from Iran, the south of Iran, the city called Shiraz. About 15 years ago, me and my brother decided that we want to maybe go abroad and study abroad. And kind of education was incredibly important. My mom was a principal of middle school. My dad had studied in United States, 56, 7 years ago. He
Okay.
finished his undergrad. So the value of education was incredibly important to our family.
Mhm.
And then we decided that, you know what, we're just going to figure out the entire process on our own to make it to Canada. And Canada was our first choice in a sense. So took about 18 months from the day that we started to finally making it to Canada. And then when we got there, they're finishing English, learning English, and finishing the school. We always were struck by the fact that we got very lucky with the whole process, despite the fact it was very long for us.
Okay.
But it was very, in a sense, like fate and luck, how we would be able to support other students that they don't require that luck, that they can have the same quality of education that we were having, but without having that luck on the side. So that was really it was the meant for us to start our ApplyBoard, and that was about a decade ago. And since then, we have managed to help over 1.3 million students, for our partners like
Amazing.
yours. And it's continue counting, and we can't wait to see a day that every student around the world has access to a good quality of education, and they can go anywhere in the world they desire to.
Okay, that's amazing. Now let's talk about the partnership. Like ApplyBoard has partnership with 1,500 plus institutions around the world across like USA, Canada, UK, and beyond, right? So how do you choose to tie up with the universities? Like, what are the benefits students get from this network?
It is a great question. The easiest way for you to understand ApplyBoard and what really unique is about ApplyBoard is we build our platform that any institution or program can be listed on the platform, but most importantly, that the students can put their information in and they can see the eligibility and where they would be able to apply for their students of their choice. Last year, 96.2% of our students, over 96% almost, actually this day when they apply to the school of their choice, they got the acceptance of it. That
Okay.
means that the system does an incredible job on pre-screening and pre-filtering and only showing what students are eligible for. And of course, our partners like yours play a significant role in that. And when it comes to tying up with institution, we have this dream that we want to make sure that if any destination are in the host of international student or foreign students, we want to be able to support the students to go. So really making it easy from anyone, any students around the world, go anywhere else. That's really the intention of our ApplyBoard. Today we have 6 destinations, and that's continued to be increasing. As you mentioned, we work with 1,500 plus institutions. And the students or our partners like yours would be able to access to the entire platform, found the programs that they required, information, and really own their journey. And most importantly, with the help of our partners like you guys, they can expand their future and they can get a good quality of education that it's right for them, not just choosing the program. Like the success really matters for us.
So moving forward, I would like to talk about the recognition that you have received from the Deloitte for multiple times as the fastest growing company in Canada. So being a founder, what are the biggest, challenges you got during this rapid growth?
I guess like there is multiple challenges irrespective of it. Maybe one challenge in our industry is education as a whole has not evolved. And I'm not referring to students that they're going to the classes. No, I'm meaning the technology around education, and the students' mobility has not evolved as much. So the adoption to technology is very low.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, there is a significant demand. So you're facing a lot of challenges with institution or partners. The technology is not where there should be.
Mm-hmm.
So I tend to say that 20 years ago, 15 years ago, fintech, the finance technology was starting, and like today, it's barely available. Take it from PayPal, Stripe, and you can make payment pretty much everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So the technology in finance grows so much this past decade. Where you look at our industry is where fintech was 20 years ago. Still, the adoption of technology is low. So that's more on specific to our sector and our business. And of course, as part of any scaling business, take it from hiring right people, scaling right people, the mistakes you make, how to be a better leader, how not to do things. Like there's just incredible number of mistakes that you do and you learn from it. But I think irrespective of what business you do, any business has its own pros and cons. And it's always a learning curve. It's constantly you learn something and you grow something else. So.
Yeah, I think it's like always keeping going. Yeah. So what I felt is many students feel that they are not good enough to go to study abroad because maybe of different aspects like maybe money, language, or maybe their grades, right? So what message would you like to give to those students?
I guess like perhaps like I elevate the question a little bit higher. It doesn't matter if just a study abroad or not. I think there is an opportunity for everyone in this world. And frankly, I sometimes wish that I was the 18 years old or 19 years old of myself in this era. And I tell you why, like 15 years ago, 12 years ago, the best teachers that you had was YouTube.
Yeah.
I would have been the best and you had to rely on tons of searching. Today, you have so many available teachers. Take it from ChatGPT or Grok or some. There are just so many incredible tools available that you effectively, as long as have access to a okay internet, you can evolve and really go further in your life. So the destiny of people becomes more in their hand, irrespective of where they were born, where was their family's financial background, and so on. And when it comes to financial accessibility, there's so much more financial loans available today than it was 10 years ago. Now, a lot of bigger banks, bigger companies do recognize that the students actually going abroad and studying has a significant ROI, return on their investment. So they would be able to pay back the loan. So the financial accessibility is going to remain. And we do at ApplyBoard with help of you guys. We do have tied up with tons of partners that provide the loans. Just as a general, I think study abroad changed my life. I think a study abroad is a significant experience that you don't get to get it as busy. And if people really don't understand what does that mean, take a week vacation or a week trip without your family.
Yeah.
You will come out of that trip much stronger, much better as a person than you ever anticipated to be. Study abroad is that in 1,000 times more. You go as a person, you become so much stronger, you become so much more. I give you a stat. 40% of the students that study abroad come back home within the first 5 years and start a business on their own. 40%. When that compared to other people, not 40% of the students graduating, for example, from Nepali University or Nepali high school to start their own business.
Yeah.
So there's significant advantage. I think today the opportunity is so much more available than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. The opportunity, you can go study in Germany, you can study in Canada, you can study in Japan, you can study in Netherlands. There are just so many opportunities. And I think it would be a lot, even if you're growing in a country that you have access to a great education institution, let's say like you have access to some of the best universities in your country, I still think a study abroad gives you an experience, teaches you something that you would not get it by your own language and sitting in your own country.
Okay. On this note, only I would like to ask you another question. Like, ApplyBoard simplifies the process of going abroad for many students, right? But what are the other services that ApplyBoard provides to the student that makes this platform so valuable?
So how we have built ApplyBoard, we're trying to make sure that we become a one-stop shop for our partners. That when the students come to your office here, not only you would be able to support them through funding every institution of their choice, but most importantly, you can support them with their loan, you can support them with their English test, and any part of that. So even, for example, if you get to Canada and now you need to open your bank account, can we support that? And our philosophy is like, what can we do that the students benefit? What can we do that partners like you benefit? What can we do that the ecosystem benefit? And that has resulted to a significant partnerships, whether with the accommodation company, whether with the visa support, immigration consultants, and so on. So the entire concept is you land to a platform through our partners, and you would be able to, from a start till this end, can utilize the same platform to be part of your journey. Okay. And then that's the entire idea. We're still years ahead to be where our long-term vision is. But we're on the right track to be in a place that we can support partners like you to really, when the students come to their offices, they can unlock their potential. Like, I think a study abroad has been a kind of like a hard achievement. It shouldn't be. Yeah. It should be available for everyone. Only 3% of the students globally have access to study abroad. 3%. 3 out of 100 students get to even try a study abroad. And whether that means a week of exchange program or a 4-year degree. Only 3 out of 100. When in reality, why should it not be 10 out of 100? Why should we not have more exchange? Why we should not have more students around the world go study abroad? That's what we're really trying to change.
Okay. So many times, parents think that is studying abroad worth it? So as someone who has already studied abroad and you have been helping thousands of students to go abroad, so what's that answers to the questions?
It's not one answer to one person. I think the best part of it, the world that we're living, everyone can get the answer to their question online. Yeah. So I don't want people realize on what I'm saying here. I want to rely on their own studies and research. Having said that, the study abroad as a whole journey for me is experience. For me is what makes you tougher. For me is what brings you opportunity that you may not have had in your own country. Gives you access to quality of education that you may not have had in your own country. So reality for me is if I go back 15 years ago with the same knowledge that I had today, I wish that I would have gone sooner. And it's not just because, 15 years I sit here. No, I struggled every year that I've been in Canada for the past 14, 15 years, every single. It's still today, I struggle. I work very hard. I work almost double up any other people that they do. So it's not about the success that I'm saying, it's good. No, I really enjoy what opportunity was provided to me and the knowledge that I gained. And frankly, getting to know other people from the world, right? Like you get to see people from different part of the world. How does the trade happen? What's new or not? So to me, it's like the best is make sure you choose the right program. The most absolute important thing and the most absolute mistakes that a lot of people make, you don't choose the right program. First, figure out what is it that you truly admire to do. If, for example, your desire is to, if opportunity was there, you want to stay in that country, then go look what jobs are going to be available 5 years from now, 6 years from now. Don't just blindly study business or computer because everyone does it. If no, your desire is no, I'm going to come back to Nepal if the opportunity didn't raise and I decided to come back, then go look what jobs going to be available 5 years. What are those opportunities that they're going to be that? And you can literally see, maybe Nepal is behind X country and you can see, in that country, I don't know, for example, hydro plants grow so much. So Nepal has an incredible opportunity. So maybe I go study abroad and become an electrician or become something that I can bring that knowledge back to my country. Little bit a step forward. Don't just choose. Everyone doesn't need to be nurse. Everyone doesn't need to be engineer. Everyone doesn't need to be the same thing that we are. Fast forward it 6 years from now, say, what am I going to be? And make sure you choose the right program, right country, right students. And that's why the counseling and the services that partners like you provide is incredibly important. The technology can solve a lot of manual process and simplify it. But what is the most important, how can you ensure you're choosing the right program that makes sure your success is far more achievable than just blindly choose something.
Okay. So being a founder of the ApplyBoard, what do you think that you have seen many, experience of the students when they have gone abroad? So what suggestion would you like to give to them, like what they are lacking?
I answered that to question. Don't go abroad if you think it's easy.
Yeah.
Like my number one response that I have given to everyone, if you think it's going to be easy, it's not meant for you. Study abroad is going to make you a lot tougher as a person. It gives you experience that you never will ever try. And that's, to be honest, what it's worth it. If you think you're going to, you're very comfortable with having a home food, you're very comfortable having your places and so on, study abroad is not for you. So you have to first accept that you're taking an incredible investment in who you are as a person, and you're expanding your lifetime in a very different manner. So that's number one. And when it comes to a mistake, I think the biggest mistake I've seen for a lot of people is one, they choose the wrong program. Two, they sometimes expect everything goes based on plan.
Yeah.
15 years ago, I had no idea I will sit here today and I'd be able to talk about this journey.
Yeah.
Life is like a journey. You need to make sure you wake up and you enjoy every day of your journey. You can't just be obsessed. Maybe like you shouldn't put like, I'm going to X country and I need to stay here. You don't know what happened. GDP of Nepal is growing incredibly fast. Maybe there will be far more opportunity back home. Maybe you go study in Netherlands and you get a job in Germany. Like all I'm saying, know what you're going to do, but don't be obsessed too much with that. Let the journey to be followed. The most important things, like a study abroad, is like a backpack. Make sure you collect as many as tools you can. Make sure you collect as many as experience you can, because what's gonna leave with you at the end of 3 years, 4 years, 5 years journey is what you kept in your backpack. That is the most important thing. So don't think it's easy, but also be very hungry and persistent. And I've seen most of the students are, and you're going to be incredibly successful. The success will be there for you.
Okay, that's really a powerful message to our students. Hope they take it. So going abroad, settling new country, sitting with new foreign people, it's really difficult for the students. So does the, through ApplyBoard, when a student apply, do they get scholarship or not?
So we when we partner with institution, we always try to negotiate as much as we can, and that's one of the philosophy. We have given away more than $100 million a scholarship in the past 10 years. So we sit with the partner institution, say, hey, you know what, your program can be more affordable. What can you do? So we always try to support our partner institution with as much as we can and lower the cost. So you, for example, by default, getting so many scholarships through ApplyBoard that you may not would have achieved those directly when applying to institution. Why? Because when we send and we provide the students, a lot of students to one institution, we can sit in front of them and make education more affordable for them. That has been the fundamental of why we started ApplyBoard. It's not just making sure that students get accessibility, is the fundamental of affordability, accessibility, all are why we started ApplyBoard with my brothers. So yes, the answer is if there is a scholarship that we can get for our students directly, we'll always try to get it, because we believe that there is so many available opportunities for our students, and we want to make sure we unlock as many as possible.
Okay, that's great. So as we wrap up, I would like to ask you a last question. If you could go back on time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
I think the biggest thing that I'm very hard on myself as a person. I wish that I worked a little bit harder. From 20 years old till 30, I think that is the best prime life time. Your body doesn't hurt. You can go fast. You can run fast. You can do things. And your appetite to risk is a lot more.
Yeah.
You don't have kids. You don't have partner. Usually, most of the case, so you can make mistake. And you know what? Mistake is great because you learn from it. As long as you learn from mistakes, there is nothing wrong with making mistake. Even as a kid, when you walk, you fall. As a kid, when you ride the bicycle, you fall. Until we don't fall, we don't run. So my philosophy, I think, like early days, like I wish that sometimes I had the knowledge, I would have put in more effort in, because I feel like I would have be able to achieve the vision of ApplyBoard a little bit further in the process. But at the same time, I don't live with regret. I think the best part of the life is that journey. I'm grateful, and God has blessed me, and I feel very lucky to be where I am in my life. I'll try to make sure that I learn from my mistake goals. So I'm regret free. I have absolutely no regret sitting here. And I tried not to, because I think it's not fair to have regret, because we all could have made different decision if we knew. I don't believe like I made intentionally bad decision. I made decision, maybe it was a bad decision. When I know that was a bad decision, I correct it and go on. But yeah.
Thank you, Meti, for providing such an insightful conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a lovely chat.
Same here.
Thank you.